everybody. Welcome to RiverCity-Media Beyond the Booth. Howie Chaney along with Phil Harris. And sorry about being on a couple of minutes late. We actually found out that Phil Harris is even older than we really thought before the show started. So he was talking to players today that he played with not their dads, but their granddads. So that even, Phil, you're older than we really anticipated, man.
Yeah. Hey, that's just part of it.
Absolutely. We got two special guests on with us tonight, two of the newest members of the Berry Vikings coming up this fall football season from Fort Payne High School, Connor Hughes, or formerly of Fort Payne High School. Let me get it right. Formerly of Fort Payne High School, Connor Hughes, kicker, and formerly of Sylvania Rams, Will Gant. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Looking forward to talking to y'all, getting to know each other, each of you a little bit more, and hopefully y'all get to know each other a little bit better because something that kind of intrigued me a little bit is y'all are going to be roommates at college as well.
Yes, sir.
So how did either one of you can answer this? How did that come about?
It kind of just happened through my mom's friends with friends of people with his mom, I think.
Mm-hmm. Friends of friends, pretty much.
That's cool. Here you are, just a 15-minute drive apart. Really didn't know each other. Now you're going to be roommates, hanging out together, and hopefully no partying going on. But we kind of feel like it may be. But we won't talk about that because we know parents are listening. So, but are y'all looking forward to getting over there and getting acclimated to everything that's going on?
Yes, sir.
So I asked you before we went live when y'all have to report, and y'all told me, when was it?
August 12th.
So is that when y'all have to be on campus, or is that when your first football activities are? What is that?
That's move-in day.
Okay. So when's the first football activities going to take place?
I think it's the 13th that morning.
Oh, wow. Welcome to college. Here we go. Let's get out there full pads first day of college, huh? I know, Connor, I know you've been over there for a camp or two. Will, have you been over there for a camp yet?
I went over there for I went on a visit in the spring and watched them do spring ball. But other than that, I didn't do anything else.
Connor, I know you went over there and did some kicking for them and everything at one of the, I'm calling it a camp. What was it actually?
It was like a freshman camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got to try out I talked to your dad, of course, so I'm getting all this information from him. And I heard you got to try out a few holders while you was over there trying to find the ones you like.
Yes, sir. I did.
How important is that as far as having a holder that I guess you have confidence in?
Well, it just takes a lot off of you because you don't have to worry about the ball just being in the wrong spot. That was one thing I was blessed with Dax, was having him for 4 years, knowing exactly where the ball would be. So trying to find a new one's a little tough for me now because I've never had to do it before. But I think I may have found one that I like. And I know there's a few more that I'll get to try. But having one that you trust is really important, just to having a good operation all the way through.
Are they going to let you try others when other people, because you just had other freshmen out there with you? Let me phrase it like this: would you rather have a freshman that might be there with you the full amount of time, or would you rather get possibly somebody a little older to hold the ball for you?
Personally, I'm thinking maybe to try to find a freshman that'll be there with me the whole time. But if there is someone that's a little older that is better at it, that I'm more confident in, then I'd rather have the person that I'm more confident in to get through at least 1 or 2 years with them.
Right. Well, you're going as a defensive lineman, is that correct?
Offensive tackle.
Offensive tackle. I was totally wrong. So have you been able to meet some of your other linemen yet?
Yes, sir.
Y'all gel pretty well, have a pretty good continuity going on?
I feel like we do. I feel like we get along pretty well.
What about you, position coach? See,
I love Coach
knowledgeable.
Scory. He does a fine job. He knows what he's doing.
Awesome. And Connor, how about you? Your position coach?
We're good. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, I've asked you my questions. It's time to turn you over to Phil Harris. There's no telling why he's going to ask you because he's a lot older now than I realized, actually. So, and y'all found that out too before we went live. I'm just giving Phil a hard time. If we don't give Phil a hard time, he thinks we're mad at him. So,
Hey,
Phil, ask away.
That's okay. Hey, I'm used to it. Ain't no problem. Well, guys, I want to ask you this. Going into Berry, and they had an 8-3 year last year. Pretty solid football program. So I guess really and truly for both of y'all have kind of sensed there's a lot of excitement around the program, and that probably made it a whole lot easier to sell for both of y'all. Am I correct? I'll start with you, Will.
Will, are you there? I think Will froze up.
Did he freeze up?
I think so.
Yeah, Connor,
Hello?
did you
Can you
hear
hear me?
Yeah. Did you hear what I said?
No, sir. It froze up.
Oh, okay. What I said, I was going to start. I was asking both of you this question. Berry had an 8-3 year last year, so there's a lot of excitement around the program. You're not going into a program that's dead. It's really going well. Was that a lot of what sold you within the program? Not just academics, but this football program's is good, solid ground.
Yes, sir. It definitely helped. I feel like at Sylvania we've done pretty good. I think we went to playoffs all 4 years I played, so it was definitely something that kind of swayed me in that direction. That Coach Cake, and he really runs a good program and stuff. So,
yeah. What about you, Connor?
It was a lot of the same for me. Like just knowing that they're a good program, and Coach K is a great coach, and my position coach, Coach Argott, he's another really good coach. And with it just being close to home, that really all helps.
Yeah, definitely. So, and family can come watch you both, and I'm sure y'all are going to have a pretty good cheering section. Do you find out with some of the guys you talked to? I don't know if you've gotten very familiar with them. Are there a lot of guys in the Berry program that are from local areas?
I think the closest is from Gunnersville to us, anyway. There's
Okay.
another lineman from Gunnersville.
But I mean, is there a lot of players like from the Georgia area, maybe the southern part of Tennessee? I mean, do they recruit a lot locally?
Yes, sir.
I feel like the majority come from Georgia and over in that area.
Yeah, well, there's some good high school football. Yeah, there's some good high school football players over there. But, Will, I want to go back to high school football. Tell us a little bit about your career at Sylvania, about some of the memories you have, and some of the coaches that were big influences on you during your high school career.
Well, the first year I started was my sophomore year, and I think we went to the 4th round that year. We played my favorite game out of my high school career that year, and it was 3rd or 2nd round at Madison Academy. We beat them in overtime. We come back to beat them. And then some of the coaches that had the biggest impact on me was our head coach, Tyler Van, and my offensive line coach, Justin Lee.
Yeah, that's two pretty good ones. So, do you think you're gonna? Did you have a lot of good memories of high school? Do you think you're gonna miss that part, or are you ready to move on to that next level?
I feel like I'm definitely gonna miss part of it, but then at the same time, I'm still gonna be playing the game, so I can't complain there.
Yeah. Well, tell me this academically. Berry's a high academic school. What are you majoring in, or what are your long-term goals after football?
I'm leaning towards animal science right now, and then maybe going on to vet school or getting like a teaching degree and being an ag teacher.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. Well, Connor, on your side, you had a great high school career. I mean, last year y'all probably had the greatest run in school history. I know the school was voted state champions in 1965, but during the playoff era, this was the most successful team. I mean, looking back, you're going to cherish this past season. What were some of the highlights during the year?
Well, definitely that Southside game was a highlight, hitting the 56 and the 57. And beating Gadsden City was another really big game. First time in school history we'd ever beat Gadsden City. And it was the first year we had went to the 3rd round in 6A. We'd been one other time, but we were in 5A. So just playing with all of your friends that you grew up with is special and something you can never do again. So that was probably my favorite part of it, and gonna miss it. But moving on, I'm excited to still be playing football.
Well, who were your biggest influences in high school as far as coaches go?
Coach Elmore and Coach Andrew Thomas. He was our special teams coordinator. They had big influences, and Coach David Stanley. He was our kicking coach. He had a big influence as well.
Well, tell me this: you're at a high academic school. What is going to be your major, and what are you looking for long term?
I got to do a dual major in history and education. To do like secondary education, have to have a dual major in whatever you're planning on teaching. So I'll have another major in history, and then try to be a history teacher and coach football and maybe soccer.
Yeah. Well, tell me this, y'all both can answer this question. Being at a school like Berry, where grades are a big important thing, do they give you a ample opportunity to make sure you're staying caught up with your classwork time? Do the coaches keep a close eye on you guys?
Yes, sir. I feel like they do. I think we get an academic advisor we have to check in weekly. So I feel like they try and help you out the best they can.
I think that, and I think we have like mandatory tutoring for freshman year that we have to go to like 5 hours a week or something.
Yeah, get you acclimated to school. Well, and that's the thing is, too, of course, the good thing for you two guys, you're not really that far from home. So if you need to run home one afternoon, you can. But I'm sure the coaches kind of want you to stay within the campus and lean on other guys and other teammates when things are a little bit down, because being in a Division III school means you have to stay on campus, right?
I think so.
I think so as well.
Yeah. Well, tell me this, Will, is there going to be an opportunity to pay, maybe you possibly getting on the field your freshman year, maybe special teams? Do they think you might have an opportunity to get to play early?
There might be an opportunity to long snap, but other than that, I got my work cut out for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But but that's a good thing, because probably if you were coming in on a 2-8 team, there probably would be that opportunity. Mm-hmm. But coming in on an 8-3 team, you get to kind of sit back and observe and watch things being done the right way. And I think will be a lot better for you in the long run.
I think there's 20 or 30 of us in the offensive line room, so there's a bunch of us.
Yeah. So you got your work cut out for you, but that's good. I'm sure you're going to do well. Well, what do y'all think about the campus over there? It's a beautiful place.
Yes, sir. Lots of deer.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of deer.
Lots of deer.
Yeah.
So does that mean that y'all may be carrying a rifle with you to do a little gaming every once in a while?
Not exactly.
I don't think they'd let you do that.
So, so I guess this is the way it's going to be. I guess if you're doing football practice, if deer runs by, it's a distraction for you country guys, right?
Probably an occasional glance.
Yeah, I would think so. Well, Connor, on your side, kicking, is there going to be an opportunity for you to get on the field as a freshman?
I'm not exactly sure yet. I think maybe with kickoffs, field goals, I'm not exactly sure yet.
Yeah, so definitely got your work out for you too. Well, tell me this: are the coaches, are they real open with you, real honest with you, Will, about the opportunities out there? Do they kind of sort of sit down with you and let you know what to expect and what's coming?
Yes, sir. I feel like Coach Score does a great job about letting you know where you stand and what you need to improve on and how you can get better.
Well, what
to
are
get
some
you
of
on the field?
Oh, okay. What are some things that they have you do before you come in? Is there certain type of workout, certain kind of diet, certain kind of programs they put you on before you even report?
Yes, sir. I've been doing workouts all summer they send me, but the biggest thing he's been telling me is put on weight. Every time I talk to him, he tells me to put on more weight. So that's probably the biggest thing holding me back right now is what he would say.
Yeah, you still got to work out, but you need to put weight on. What are some of the things they suggest you eat to put weight on?
A lot of peanut butter, and protein, calories.
Hey, I understand that. Well, Connor, what about you? Do you feel like, I mean, you're coming out of high school, you've been kicking for a long time. Do you feel like you can get a lot stronger with your leg? Is workouts demanding even for a kicker at Berry?
I believe our workouts are the same as everybody else's. Now, I go and do a little bit of, like, I do those, but I do a little bit of my own stuff as well to work on more leg speed and everything. But it's not too bad.
Not too bad. Well, how do you think you guys are going to enjoy campus life? Have you went over and visited the campus enough to where you kind of understand where you're going to be going, what you're going to be doing, and where your classes even might be? Have you done that, Will?
I think it's going to be an adjustment to try and figure out where everything exactly is, but I feel like I have a pretty good idea on where most everything is.
What about you, Connor?
That's same for me. Kind of things a little spread out, but not really. Just going to have to learn where each building is and where everything is.
Well, have you talked to any of the guys about what the coaching staff, and this is for both of you, what the coaching staff will do to kind of sort of build team chemistry outside of football practice?
I know they do like a group Bible study led by a former player to kind of build chemistry together. I know that's been mentioned, but I don't really know a lot past that.
I don't know anything.
You haven't heard anything so far. Yeah. Well, of course, a lot of your schedule, I guess you've kind of looked at it, and you are kind of like the way we are. You've heard of some of these schools, Maryville and Huntington, and people like that that's on their schedule. Does Berry have what they would call any traditional rivals? I just wonder if y'all talk to any of that to take, they really, put a circle around on that schedule.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not either. I know the Huntington is a pretty big game, though.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, Howie, I'll turn you back over and let you ask him a few questions, and I'll see if I can bring out a few more.
Will, they're wanting you to gain weight. How much weight have you gained since you signed with Berry?
Well, I went into my senior season weighing 240 pounds, and by the time we played Winfield in the second round, I weighed 210 pounds. So they wanted me to get back up to 250 at least.
Where do you stand at now?
I weighed day before yesterday, and I weighed 247. So,
well, I know you've seen this show once or twice, and between me and Randy, we've got enough weight we could give both of y'all to make it what you needed to if there's some way of doing it. But if you need to gain more weight, let us know. We'll take you out to eat one night, and we can really put the weight on you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Because you got Randy weighing in at a little over 300, and I'm at 250. So we know how to put the weight on. Connor, you looking forward to getting over there and showing them what type of leg you got after this long-standing Fort Payne career that you got?
Yes, sir, I am.
Just another line of kickers coming out of Fort Payne after the McPhersons and the Hughes. And do you stay in contact with the McPhersons very much?
Yes, sir. Anytime I got a question, I can just ask them. We go to the same church, so can always ask their parents if I ever got a question, or I got Alex's phone number and everything. I can text them.
That's cool. So you said you didn't know if you'd be kicking field goals or not, but you're pretty sure you'll be doing kickoffs.
Possibly.
You got competition in front of you. Will done said he's got like 20 people in front of him on the offensive line there in the offensive line group. How about you? How many you got in there?
It's kind of confusing because they had one kicker last year. I'm not sure. I think he may be a senior going into this year, but I don't know. He tells me that he's like more of a punter, and I think the other two guys there are punters. but I'm not exactly sure. I've only really talked to one of them. That was the kicker last year, but he said that he's more of a punter. So I'm not exactly sure, but I think he will be competition.
Have you ever punted any?
I have in practice a good bit.
Do you like it?
Uh, I don't like. I don't just prefer to do it, but I like doing it whenever I hit a good one. But sometimes I don't hit a good one, so I don't like it. But I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things. I can do it, just I don't focus on it.
Right. Well, what if they come up to you one day and say, "Well, we're short on the defensive side of the ball there. We need a defensive lineman." Would you be willing to do it?
Can you repeat that? I can't really hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. What if they come up to you one day and say, "Well, we're short on the defensive side there. We need a defensive lineman." Would you be willing to swap over to the defensive side?
Wherever they'd let me play. If they told me to go out there and punt the ball, I'd go punt the ball.
Talking about earlier about possibly a long snapper, you might have some pull right there above you as far as Connor, as far as being roommates and everything. He could put a good word in for you, saying, "Hey, that Gant kid, I don't know who he is, but boy, he can snap that ball."
It'd be nice. But when we went to the freshman camp, I tried long snapping with a cast on, and it was okay, but it wasn't what it would be without the cast.
Right. So, Connor, do they have a long snapper already on campus, or do you know?
I think they do. I'm not exactly sure. During the camp, they had just some freshmen there trying to long snap, and I don't know. Long snapping, I can't. It's harder for me to like pick out what I like better compared to holder because snaps can all be different. I'm not really focused on the run up to the kick, but I do think they've told me that they do have a snapper there.
So you say that the snapping is not a big deal, but timing wise, does that not affect you any?
Well, yes, the speed of the snap matters a lot to just help me see the ball faster and have a faster operation. But just when I'm back in my stance going to kick the ball, I'm not actually like I don't watch the snap or anything, so I can't really like tell where the ball is placed at or anything other than just the speed of it. So really, I've always thought that the snapper is more to the discretion of the holder.
So when you went over there and kicked, was it a totally different type of ball that you was having to kick with compared to what you used at high school?
No, they let me use my balls that I got.
So you can carry those over and use them in games as well?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that'll be good. That's one thing I know that you and Dax had some issues occasionally when his uh, when his game balls got in there and they wasn't the way that you wanted them, and it made it a little bit more difficult for you to get the kick.
Yes, sir.
How much pressure you want on the footballs as far as poundage wise?
I keep mine at about the max it's supposed to be for a football at about 13.
Can you tell the difference when one's not totally maxed out compared to if one's missing maybe a pound of air?
Yes, I can. It feels different. It sounds a little bit different. It's not as good.
So with both of y'all, this is for both of you going over there. I'm sure they're going to give you, I know you're going to get uniforms and all that. But as far as your cleats and everything, is that something you have to provide, or will they provide the cleats for you?
They provide
I
them.
believe they provide for you.
So, Connor, going back to you being a kicker and superstitions and all this other stuff, will the shoe make a difference as far as you kicking?
Yes, it does. But they asked the kickers which cleats we wanted, and so the ones that they're getting for us are the ones that I like.
Okay. So, I don't want it to sound like it's just superstitious or whatever, but I know that there's certain positions, not just in football, but in all sports, that everybody's got to have a certain whatever to make it feel more comfortable. talking about the footballs earlier, I've seen baseball players, pitchers get a baseball and realize, hey, this don't feel right. One I can remember is John Smoltz, and he'd throw the ball out, and they got to checking it, and it was like a half-ounce difference in every ball that he threw out because he knew it wasn't right. And that's why I was kind of asking you about the football as far as kicking it. Could you tell a big difference?
Yes, sir.
So, are y'all looking forward for your first road trip with the team?
Yes, sir. I am.
Yes, sir.
Where will that be at? Do you know offhand? Do you know the schedule?
I think week 2 or week 3. I know we got a game in Pittsburgh.
Oh, wow. Not only, y'all will be taking a long trip on that one. Bus, airplane, how will y'all be going? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Y'all just ready to go and play some football. That's all y'all are ready to do, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bill, you got some more questions?
Yeah, I know. I saw some of this. I know y'all make one trip to Texas and one trip to Pennsylvania. And so, those pretty good trips. Surely to goodness they'll fly you on that because that's a great experience for you. Will, I want to ask you this. I know you're going in a lot of the process. Of course, linemen, and it don't matter if you use Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, big learning process because it's a big adjustment going from high school to college. What are some of the strengths of your game? Is it your leg strength? Is it your leverage? Is it your smarts? What are some of the aspects that you bring to the table that will get you on the field early?
I feel like I can grasp the playbook pretty well, and then I feel like my technique is probably my biggest strength.
So, how much do you bench press?
I think the most I got up to was 275.
Now, what about squatting?
390.
390. Is that up to a good standard, you would think?
Do what?
Do you think you can do a whole lot more, or is that a good standard?
I feel like I probably could get another 15, 20 pounds now. Yeah, but I haven't maxed this summer, so.
Yeah, because really, I guess is what you're working on. They want you to put on weight, but it's not just, they don't want you to put on fat. They want you to put on mass.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and you're running and all, by putting on extra weight, do you feel like it slows you down, or does that kind of weight just, you don't really, I'm sure if it was flab, it would, but if it's muscle, can you tell the difference?
I haven't really noticed it as of right now. I feel like I'm running about the same I was. So,
what is your 40 time?
My fastest 40 I got was either a 5 flat or a 5.1. So,
yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad for a big guy. That's not too bad at all. Connor, on your side, I guess weight is going to help you with your leg strength and all. But in your kicking, what do you think is the most accurate? Are you an accurate kicker as far as being, you're solid like from, say, 40 yards in? Do you lack a little bit in your distance kicking? Do you kick low balls on your long kicks?
I don't really feel like I kick them that low, especially a new thing I've been working on throughout the summer. And since the season, I'm kicking them higher now, especially not being off the tee. I think it's a little bit easier to get some more height on it. But I definitely think I'm more of an accurate kicker. I can't go back and kick 65 yarders, but I can still get back deep in the 50s and I can still be hitting them. I can hit 56, 57 and still be good.
Yeah, so I guess a lot of being at Berry, they're probably going to want you to be solid, especially on that 40 yards and in. Accurate, yes. Because when you get down around that 25-yard line, you want it to be a sure three.
Yes, sir.
Well, I really, Will, I know it's been a great high school career for you at Sylvania. Do you think, being in the playoffs and whatnot and having all that excitement and, do you think that prepares you for the college level?
I feel like it definitely helps. The bigger the stage, I've already been there. I feel like brighter lights. So I feel like it definitely helps get you a little more mentally prepared.
Well, who are some of the players you played against in high school that stood out that were just tough? I mean, and of course, you look forward to playing against better competition. It always made me better.
Mhm.
Who are some of the guys that made you better?
We played in Madison Academy. AJ Rice was their middle linebacker, and I think he's playing at Mississippi State now.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at Fife, there's Logan Anderson. He's playing at Clemson now.
Yeah. Did you ever match face to face with Logan Wilkes or Tyler
Who's
Wilkes?
that now?
I'm sorry. The Wilkes at Fife. Did you face him?
I did several times. Yeah. It was me and him lined up against each other all night.
I bet it made both of you better.
I feel like it did.
Yeah. Who are some of the other guys you went against that were tough?
Piedmont always had pretty solid defensive linemen. I can't really remember their names, but they was always pretty solid.
Yeah, that's kind of tradition for them. They could lose 4 defensive linemen, and the next 4 are just as good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just the way that program works. Well, in high school, who were some of the more favorite teams you enjoyed playing? I know you've talked about Madison Academy, but who are some of those teams you like playing that you really look forward to?
I always look forward to playing Geraldine. Geraldine was probably our biggest close rival, other than Plainview, but I always like playing Geraldine better.
The game between y'all are always good.
You cut out there, Phil.
Huh? Oh,
you cut out there on that comment.
Okay, I know the games against Geraldine. They was between you and Geraldine. They were always great football games. Well, Connor, on your side, who was the teams you look forward to playing the most? I know a lot of times you were just kicker, but still, you could. I'm sure on the sideline you could sense on the sideline who were the opponents that other players on your team really look forward to playing.
Definitely Scottsboro was always one that we looked forward to. Gibson City would always be one. Buckhorn would usually be a pretty decent game as well.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, that Scottsboro series, yeah. Because really Fort Payne don't really have a whole lot of natural rivals. They don't really have any neighbors except for maybe North Jackson been in the past, Center, and then Scottsboro. So you don't really have a lot of traditional rivalries. So y'all have to do a lot of traveling when you're at Fort Payne. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I know we went to Pelham towards the end of the year this year, and that was a pretty decent drive.
Yeah, because that's south of Birmingham.
Hey, Phil, could I ask that question in a different way as far as who he enjoyed? I know with you being kickoff specialist, and most time it went in the end zone, so you didn't have to worry about it. But what schools or what teams did you play and Coach Elmore tell you, do not kick it to this guy or kick it at this area? Who did you have to worry about with that?
My junior year when we played Gibson City, they had a safety going to Alabama, and I was told to kick it away from him. And there was once I kicked it away from him, and he ran all the way across the field and caught it. And that's tough to do, to kick it away from someone that will run across the field and grab it.
Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're talking about Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, he was a great return guy. You never want him to get the ball in the open field. That is for sure. Well, I want to ask you about this, Connor. This one, I want to relive this one. How did it feel when you finally got that monkey off your back by beating Gaston City? That has to be, making that run, but that has to be one of the highlights of your entire football team your senior year.
It was really good because we had always been told they had beat Geston in the past when it was just Geston High School, but they didn't beat them much. And we had never beaten Gibson City before. And I think this year we had played them the past 3 years, I want to say. And last year was a decently close game. And we really felt like we had them this year, and we did. And it was just to win and win how we did by scoring touchdowns and not making it too much of a close game. It felt really good to win like that.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, y'all played very well that night. And, of course, do you feel like, of course, the win over Southside kind of sort of changed your whole season. Y'all came back. You were down in the fourth quarter. And even when me and Jeff was at scoreboard, y'all were 0-2 or down in the fourth quarter, and we were like, this is not Fort Payne. And then you come back and win that game, and that kind of sort of stabilized everything. And I'm sure that got you on the right track. But after that, do you think that Gaston City game was something that propelled this team into that run deep into the playoffs?
I definitely think it would, because that gave a lot of just confidence and just momentum, and really just helped maybe some of them that didn't believe we could do what we did, help believe that we could beat the bigger teams that we had lost to in the past, and that we could do something special this year.
Well, Will, and you talked about this, and I'm going to ask you about it again. And every team on Sand Mountain is going to give you that same. I mean, yes, you played Pisgah. Yes, you played Sylvania. Yes, you played Geraldine. But everybody points to Madison Academy or Piedmont. But most of the time on Sand Mountain, it's Madison Academy. And I know you talked about beating them. Was that a lot of talk amongst the program anytime? Because Madison Academy has been Achilles' heel for a lot of teams on Sand Mountain.
It was definitely like one of the bigger games we played in, and everybody talked about it a lot. Like the week leading up to it, talked about how athletic they were compared to us, but how we had the raw strength compared to them. We just kind of balanced our pros and cons, and then there's a lot of chatter outside of the locker room too about, hey, y'all are going into Madison Academy, and they got this, this, and this. They've been region champions this many times.
Yeah. But, when you hear talk like that, do you think teams kind of sort of come together and close ranks and then kind of sort of get to the point to where it's us against the world?
I feel like we kind of like just tuned all of it out and listened to our coaches, and we went in there with a solid game plan. I feel like we executed it very well.
Well,
we kind of didn't listen to the chatter outside the locker room.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, because that can kind of sort of ruin you, because a lot of the people don't really understand what they're talking about, because, it's like you guys in the locker room, if you don't believe you can, you're not going to win. You feel that way?
Can you repeat that? You cut out for me.
Yeah, you was talking about the chatter outside the locker room. In that locker room, if you guys don't believe you can win, you're not going to win. So, and that's a big important part of football.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, tell me this. It's time to move on to Barry. What do you feel? You've probably kind of sort of sat around and thought about this. What are some of your goals when you get to Barry? Do you have kind of maybe a time frame where you think about, I want to get on the field here, I want to be starting here, I want to be all conference one of these days? Have you kind of sort of set in your mind kind of a timetable and kind of goals personally when you get to the next level?
Yes, sir. This year I'd really like to make the travel team, so that'd be second and first string. And then next year I'd like to start, and then by the junior, senior year, be all conference. It's kind of the way I'd like things to go. So,
yeah, and academically, do they warn you? Is it going to be a tough road to hoe academically, or do you feel like you're up to the challenge?
I feel like it's not going to be the easiest, but I feel like I'm definitely up to the challenge.
Yeah, because that's part of it too. I mean, the big thing is playing football, getting that education, and if you get a degree from Barry, that holds a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about you, Connor? Have you thought about any short or long term goals of when you get to Barry, when you may get on the field? Do you have kind of sort of an idea in your head where you want to
go? This year I want to travel everywhere, and I want to be on the field for most of the games. And then by next year, I want to be starting for kickoffs and field goals, and hopefully be all conference and all American.
Well, does Barry, do they redshirt a lot of players, or does most players just come in immediately, just stay the 4 years?
I don't think they can redshirt because it's a D3.
don't.
So I think the only way you can get a red shirt is a medical red shirt.
Medical. Okay, that's something I didn't know. That's something I definitely did not know that. I didn't know that they. So in other words, it would be a medical hardship basically for you to get an extra year.
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, Howie, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, we don't want no red shirt, guys. We don't want no medical issues from either one of you. So let's make sure of that. Connor, when you go on campus, what number do you want to be able to wear?
I think I'm going to be number 99.
Is that what you want, or is that what they gave to you?
That's what they gave to me.
Will, how about you?
I think I'm going to be number 64.
Same thing. They just gave it to you.
Mm.
So I guess incoming freshmen really ain't got much of a say. You get whatever they give you and be proud of it, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, Connor, how's it going to feel? What type of turf are you going to be kicking off of there at Berry? What do they have?
I think it's the black pellet turf.
So it is artificial type
Yes,
turf.
sir.
It's not natural grass.
No, sir.
Good. Have y'all been to the stadium? I guess you have with the camps. Locker room wise, how does the locker room look and compared to what you're used to?
Locker room's really nice. It's similar. Everything's similar to in it like we had at Fort Payne.
Will?
It's definitely a lot bigger than what we have.
Yeah. Well, I've been in that locker room many times. That's not saying a whole lot, Will, to be honest. But the locker room is probably as big as the whole field house at Sylvania, if I had to guess. That close to being right. Is the locker room as big as the whole field house at Sylvania?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about the weight room?
It's very close in size to our whole field house.
What about the weight room? A good sized weight room?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Connor, you gonna spend a lot of
Now,
time
the weight
in the
room, I feel like it's about the same size as our weight room.
Okay. Connor, you gonna spend a lot of time in the weight room?
I'll spend as much time as they make me spend in there.
At least you're honest about it. So, we'll be working on his arms, his legs, and all that. I'm going to make a stupid assumption here. I'm assuming that you'll just be working on your leg strength.
I think so. I'll do whatever they have me do. I don't know if they'll have me be doing arms and everything. I know right now during the summer they're having me do arms and everything. But personally, I like for kicking, I like to do a lot of resistance span training and like more like speed explosive stuff with weights. So like when I go in there, that's what I do more of by myself.
You don't want to be one of these kickers that walks around with big old guns on his arms there just to, show them off.
It don't help me too much.
Well, how about you? What's your main thing that you enjoy when you're working out?
I do a lot of both as of right now. I probably like doing arms a little better though.
You got long
Do a
arms.
little bit more arms.
Long arms. That's difficult to do the bench press if you got the long arms. But they like offensive linemen to have long arms to use your hands. So I know it's kind of difficult to get bench press big time or bigger numbers because of so big of your arms are so long. So,
Right.
But are you able to? What'd you say you bench press? You said earlier.
The most I got up to last year was 275.
How much have you been able to work out with your benching and everything with the cast on the arm?
I hadn't been able to do a whole lot with my left arm, but I've been doing a lot of single dumbbell with my right arm and stuff. So the right arm's definitely getting a lot bigger than the left arm.
When will you be completely out of the soft cast and everything?
I go back the day before we move in. I go back the 11th, so hopefully I'll be fully cleared by then.
That's going to be cool. So have y'all talked about some of the stuff that living sharing roommates wise and everything? Have y'all talked about how things are going to go? Who's going to cook, who's going to do the cleaning, stuff like that? Mama's not around no more, so somebody's got to do it.
We definitely talked about some of the stuff.
Connor?
We've talked about just some of the stuff that we need and like who's getting what.
So have y'all been practicing at home as far as doing a little bit of cooking on the side, maybe doing a little bit of laundry, getting ready for all that?
Nah, I've done laundry just sometimes my whole life. I think when I get there, I'll be good.
Okay.
Or I can just send it back home, have Mama do it here.
You probably won't like to hear that, though.
So Mama's going to have a UPS box at the door about every 4 days, I guess, huh?
She may. Or she can just take it back home after the game on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, how about you?
I've been doing the laundry a long time, so
Okay.
I probably end up just doing it there.
So does the apartment
already got you prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So does the apartment have a washer and dryer in it, or we all have to go somewhere else and actually do it?
I'm not sure. It's not going to be like in the room with us, but I think there's one like somewhere in the building.
Okay. So is this more like
I think they have several per floor.
Is it more like an apartment, or is it more like a dorm?
A dorm.
Oh, okay. All right. So, and will y'all be sharing with other football players? Or is all the football players in one dorm, or do y'all know that?
I don't know.
No, sir.
Okay. So leaving Fort Payne in Sylvania respectfully, going over to Barry, which is just outside of Rome. Got a lot of stuff to do over there. So what are y'all going to be doing on Saturday nights and Sunday nights after football season's over with? Because I know you won't have time to do it beforehand or during football season. So afterwards, what are y'all going to be doing?
I'm not sure. I know they got a nice golf course close to the campus.
Will, how about you?
I definitely plan on going to eat after games and stuff on Saturday nights.
You got a little bit more to choose from over in Rome than you do here at Sylvania or Fort Payne, don't you? Or you just gonna keep on going to the same place and eat all the time?
I don't know. Whatever's the cheapest, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Spoken like
a lot of
true
ramen
college
noodles
person.
in the future.
Yeah.
It's not like y'all already got this college life figured out. So I noticed that a lot of college players and athletes is wearing their team shirts and all that stuff. Is that something y'all will have to buy, or will the school kind of provide that for y'all?
I think they provide us with some stuff.
So, Will, you got your Barry shirt on. How did they give that to
Yeah.
you when you signed?
They gave it to me when we went to the freshman camp.
Okay. So I know y'all got people's going to be coming over, family coming over and watching. Do y'all get like complimentary tickets to give to you family members to come in and watch the game?
I'm going to try to. I'm not sure exactly how many we get, but
yeah, I feel like they said something when I went on my visit, but I can't exactly remember what they said.
Well, I know in the past, I think maybe Howie, like if you need extra ones, that other players are allowed to give other players their tickets. Their allotment. They're probably allotted a certain amount, and then if somebody's not using it, and their parents is not coming, they're allowed to give them. Now, I don't know that to be for sure, but that's the way it used to be. Now,
Yeah, we're learning a lot of stuff with y'all being at a D3 school and everything. Because some of the stuff we didn't know, especially the red shirt stuff. So I didn't know if the tickets were any different or not compared to D1 or D2. are the families, are y'all allowed to get tickets and give on the away games as well, or do you know?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
So how did y'all schedule your classes around football, or did they help y'all out to figure that out?
I think they
I
schedule.
believe they make the schedule for us around it,
Oh, okay.
and then they send it out to us.
So I guess most freshmen will have the same classes. You know, it's been 30 years since I've been in college, and about 120 since Phil's been in college. So I didn't know, I didn't know if all freshmen took the same classes just because y'all are freshmen or what.
Maybe kind of. I know I've got a lot of dual enrollment credits from high school, so some of the classes I don't have to take.
Okay.
Well, and I guess too, some of them are probably online, aren't they?
I'm not sure about that.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Well, you got some dual enrollment classes as well that's going to transfer over.
Yes, sir. I've taken 11 or 12, so I think I've got most of my basics out of the way.
Well, okay. So I'm assuming both of y'all are about done with college already, and you hadn't even stepped foot on campus yet.
Part of it.
Part of it. Yeah.
How big of an advantage is that going to be for y'all to be able to have that dual enrollment underneath your belts and being able just to go in and not to have to worry about some of this stuff?
I think it'll be a big advantage with football season possibly taking not having to take possibly as many classes or graduating early after football season our senior year. Could possibly do that.
I think it'll definitely be a big help, especially this first year. Just go ahead and being ahead of the game.
Well, you know, when you guys were going through the recruiting process, you know, I know at Berry, academics is first naturally. Athletics is going to be second. You know, they want to win, and traditionally, when the coaches are recruiting y'all, is it more about academics? Do they put a big emphasis on it when they're recruiting you?
Maybe a little bit. I know for me personally, when I went over there for a game day visit in the fall, Coach Argott told me that they couldn't actually offer me until I was like already admitted to the school. So that may be kind of how they do it, with how you have to be admitted before they can actually give you a offer to come play on the team yet. But I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. In other words, you've got to meet the grade standards for them to offer you to be on the athletic football team. So that really makes sense because it's academics first at Berry. I'm sure you feel that way, Will.
Yes, sir.
What was the main reason or main decision for y'all to choose Berry? Start with you, Will.
There was definitely a few things that kind of swayed me to sign with Barry. One of them was definitely proximity to home. The other one was like prestige, like how we kind of talked about earlier, about like they've had that history of being really good.
Connor?
Mine was definitely how they are a very good program, and then also how they're close to home.
Because I know both of y'all had opportunities and offers to go other places, so that's why I was wondering about what stuck out with Barry over these other places. And has it set in yet that, hey, here in just a few weeks, I'm going to be a college student playing college football in a whole different location, whole different state from what I've been used to for the last 6-7 years?
I don't think it has for me yet.
Will?
Can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear you.
No, I'm sorry. Has it set in to you that you're going to be a college student playing college football in a whole different state yet? Has it set in yet to realize, hey, high school is actually over?
It's definitely starting to set in. It's getting like the closer we get to school starting back, I'm like, hey, I'm going to a different spot now, out of state. So it's definitely a change, but I feel like I'm getting acclimated.
So have y'all got your classes already? Do you know what you're going to be taking already as far as when you go in? So that part's already
Yes, sir.
taken care of.
Yes, sir.
So how many classes are you going to have to take this freshman first semester?
I think
I think I have 5 or 6.
Connor, how many you have?
I think it says 7, but because of some extra credits that I got, I think I may end up like not taking one or switching one out. I'm not exactly sure yet.
Right. Phil, you have any more questions for these young men before we let them go?
Yeah, I do. Will, I want to ask you about this. Of course, getting to the college level, you become a lot more independent because mom and dad ain't there all the time. Tell me about your supporting cast. Tell me about your parents, what they mean to you, what they've meant to you, and how are they going to support you now in the future?
My parents have been everything to me. They've supported me every step of the way since I started playing football, and they've supported me all the way through, whether it be through academics or just anything I want to do. They said they support me, so they've definitely been there my whole life, and they're going to continue to be there. So they mean everything to me.
Do you feel like they've trained you well to become an independent young man? Because when you get to this level, that's where that shows. Have they prepared you for this day?
I definitely think they have. I've been doing a lot of stuff on my own for a while that they've showed me how to do and kind of taught me how to live on my own once I got to this point. So I feel like they've prepared me really well.
Yeah, ready. They probably don't want you to leave the nest, but they know it's time and they have prepared you over the years.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So, what about you, Connor? That's the same thing for you. I know your parents has been a big part of your life. You're a big supporting cast. Tell us what they mean to you, and how are they going to support you going forward?
It's the same for me. They've been at every game and always supported me with kicking and everything, taking me across the country to go to different camps and different places, and just always helping me with paying for lessons to go up and have my private coach teach me and everything. And they're going to be coming to the games at Barry and just keep supporting me as I go there.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I guess both of you, that your parents is probably pretty glad that you're going to be not too far away from home. Of course, but they'll enjoy those trips. I'm sure more than likely, Connor, that your parents may make that trip up to Pennsylvania if you make the travel squad.
Yes, sir. I know that it'd be my dad. My sister's got cross country that same day. So my mom would stay back with her, and then my dad would come up to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, that'll be good, though. I mean, because this will be fun for them to take all the trips. What about you, Will? Is that the way your parents feel? They're going to try to make it to every game possible, and say you make the travel squad and you get to go to Pennsylvania. Do you foresee them coming?
I feel like they're going to try and definitely be at all the ones they can be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, one more question I want to ask you. Anytime you go into a school, I mean, they have to be careful about, doing stuff to young players. Have you been cautioned about certain things that freshmen have to do that the upperclassmen, you're kind of the low man on the totem pole? Is there certain things they're going to make y'all do when you get on campus?
I'm assuming so, but I hadn't figured out what it is yet.
They haven't told you. Because there's got to be some kind of initiation there. I mean, back when I played, it was the freshmen carried the dummies, or it was something like that. You had to pay your dues. So I'm sure. What do you feel that way, Connor? Do you feel like that's what's going to happen? They're going to make y'all do something.
Yes, sir. I assume there's probably something, but I'm not sure what it is yet.
I saw at a school one time where they showed where they would make freshmen stand up when all the team would have meal, and they would have to stand up individually and sing the school's alma mater in front of the whole football team. They do things like that. But, those are the kind of things that sort of single you out and let you know, hey, you're in a new place and you're the new guy. So, some things like that they may make you do. You think?
They might. Something similar, but I hope not.
Phil, it's not just college; it's professional too. The NFL teams, when they come in, when they first report to training camp, they make their rookies get up and sing their college fight song in front of everybody. So it's not just it's not just college, but it's professional as well.
Oh boy, so yeah. But that's the kind of things that'll make it a little bit of fun, the initiation part of it. So I guess, guys, you're really looking forward to it. I know it's a new challenge, and I guess both of you are kind of sort of in that position where you're kind of cautiously optimistic because you really don't know yet what to expect.
Yes, sir.
Is that the way you are, Will? You're kind of cautiously optimistic, but you really don't know what to expect yet.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, appreciate you coming on. I want to wish you the best. I hope you do well. Maybe at some point we can come over and be able to break away and come see you play. I sure would like to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Guys, if we make it over to a game and watch y'all play afterwards, we'd like to meet up with you and talk to you for a few minutes and possibly get a picture with y'all, if that'll be all right with y'all.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Good deal. We appreciate y'all's time. Y'all could have been doing anything other than talking to me and Phil, but y'all took the time out to talk to us, and we appreciate it. If there's anything we can do to help y'all out, let us know. And maybe after the season's over with, we can get y'all back on and kind of talk about your first year on campus and first college season and everything, and see how it went.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully,
thanks for having us.
Hey, hopefully y'all won't forget about us when you get over there. So we'd love to have y'all back on later on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So, I'm going to close this out and just hold on a second, then we'll let you go. So, Howie Chaney, Phil Harris, our guest tonight was Connor Hughes, formerly of Fort Payne, and Will Gant, formerly of Sylvania. How's that sound, guys? Formerly of Fort Payne and formerly of Sylvania.
A little weird.
It is a little weird.
Yeah. Y'all are like us. You're has-beens now.
Mm-hmm.
Or in my case, I never was, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
So anyway, good night, everybody.